All right, guys, and we are live. Again, thank you so much for being here. This is the Toolkit Summit 2017, and we have my man Travis Mash on the line. How you doing, Travis?
I'm pumped for this, man. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about just watching you grow as in this industry, man. You're everywhere. So
Thanks, man. Well, actually, yeah. When did we start? Like, I think we met in 2015, so it's been a wild ride for the last couple of years, man.
I think for everyone, this new era of social media and sport it really makes things interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So we're glad to have you on the summit this year. We're going to talk about why we put the summit together, why we have wonderful people like AJ, Christmas, Zach, Travis on here. We're going to go in there, and then we're going to be talking to Travis about how he built a world-class team. And we have some questions from you guys, so we'll be asking Travis in 1 second. So real quick, guys, I'm going to share my screen. We'll go through this, and then, of course, while you're here to listen to Travis, you're going to be hearing this. Travis, do you see my screen?
I do. I see the Toolkit Summit 2017.
Awesome. So let's go through this, guys, real quick. Again, welcome to the 2017 Summit. This is day 2. So why are we here? This is for fitness professionals. We're bridging the gap to grow their business, your business, and we're having the tech meet the strategy. So many times we see out in the industry, so many people have great ideas, but once you get those ideas, they don't know how to capitalize on it. They don't know how to streamline their business. So that's why we have the summit here, to have the tech with the strategy, and we have wonderful people like Travis that join us to teach you how to do this. So why are you here? Who is this perfect for? This summit is perfect if you're trying to change your passion for fitness into a business, if you're creating a side hustle, or if you're frustrated with building your business in the fitness industry now. This is why we took the time to build the summit to give you the solutions. So today, right now, we have my man, Travis. We're here, how to run a world-class team. And we have the behind the scenes, what it took for Travis to get this going. So Travis, we're going to take it away to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you built this great team.
Well, I was an athlete throughout my whole life. I grew up in a very small part of North Carolina in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains, literally 30 minutes down a dirt road. Sports got me to college. I went to Appalachian State University, played football there. And from there, at the end of my career, my strength and conditioning coach, Mike Kent, who's now the head strength coach for the Florida Gators, he tells me, which they're not doing that well this year, so that it's not a great example, but he tells me, my final year, I should consider, if I want to continue sports, maybe looking into Olympic weightlifting, because I did pretty good as far as like our team records. I had all those and strength wise. And so I just looked into some people, and I found Wes Barnett, who is a 2-time Olympian in Colorado Springs, and he had a side hustle, as you said. I like that side hustle thing, but he had a little business on the side at the World Gym in Colorado Springs, World Gym on 8th Street. I remember it like it was yesterday. But so there was only maybe like 4 or 5 places that were well known for Olympic weightlifting back then. There wasn't CrossFit and a gym on every corner, so I didn't have a lot of choices. So I literally packed up everything after college and drove 24 hours straight to this gym and begged this man to coach me. And he started coaching me, and then weightlifting took off. I did pretty good. In a short time, I was invited to the Olympic Training Center, which was also in Colorado Springs, which is another reason why I chose, Wes Barnett out there to coach me, because I knew it was right beside of where I wanted to be. And I was doing pretty well. I was progressing quickly. And then my dad got sick right around 2000. And I made the decision to, forego my, dreams of the Olympics. And I went back home to North Carolina to be around him. He was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. So I came back, started powerlifting, and became, in 2004, I broke the all-time world record pound for pound total. Then it was Ed Cohn had the record, and it was like 24:08. I did 24:10, and anyway, so I started powerlifting. Did that for this whole time too. I'm coaching. But I did that pretty much full time until 2007. And then I started really focusing on, coaching more. That's when I started mainly getting into strength and conditioning, really. And then I was really known for that. And I've turned out some great athletes. Like right now, I still have Tommy Bohannon starting fullback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cade Carney starting running back at Wake Forest. But so I was doing that. I mean, I put hundreds of athletes in Division I schools, and I did it in a very small town. So it wasn't like I was in Miami or New York City. I was in this little place called Advance, North Carolina. You've been to my farm. So it's in the middle of nowhere. And so we were able to take these athletes and make them great. And so that was exciting. Then Rebecca Gurdon, here's where it all turned. I'll get to the point of how I created this team. Rebecca Gurdon around 2010, or no, 2011, sorry. She comes to me, she says, "Will you teach me Olympic weightlifting?" And I'm like, sure. For some reason, the fact that she asked me that excited me so much because we use cleans and snatches to coach our athletes, but I hadn't even thought about coaching people for the sport. And it got me so excited, the thoughts of like getting a chance to get back into the sport. So started coaching her, and another athlete here, another athlete there, and around 2013 is when it all changed big. In 2013, I had a couple athletes at the American Open. It was 2012, sorry. It was when they had the big snowstorm, it was ice storm. And I drove there and I met Mike Bledsoe for Barbell Shrug. And I'd already met him, but I hung out with John North. And somehow through that whole thing, people started knowing me as this guy who can get them strong and do weightlifting. And from there, it just took off. And then I got a job with Muscle Driver USA in 2014. And so at that point is when I really stepped away from my strength and conditioning business and went full in weightlifting. And it just got bigger and bigger every year. In 2016, we had more. Gosh, it was so crazy. This whole ride has been wild. But in 2016, we had more people at the Nationals than any other team in America. I personally coached more athletes than any other coach in America. And, that was a short time. I really didn't get it, like I said, full time until 2014. So, 2 years later, I'm like, the biggest, arguable who's the best, but, I had more athletes than anybody else. And this year I have three guys going to senior worlds. So I have more athletes than anyone else in America going to the world championships. We've sent people both the last 2 years to youth Pan Ams, youth worlds, junior Pan Ams, junior worlds, senior Pan Ams, senior worlds. So I would definitely argue that we're definitely one of, if not the best team in America.
That's awesome. No, it shows. I mean, if you're looking at pound for pound where you guys are ranking, I mean, you guys are doing great things. So that's awesome to hear, man. Awesome.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's been fun, man. So.
And let me ask you something. So how did you organize your team? Like you mentioned, you have so many athletes from all over. How do you organize your time? Do you have multiple coaches with you? How does that work out?
I have one of the best coaches, it's ever, graced the presence of USA Weightlifting. But, I have Don McCauley. He's there right now while I'm doing this. And so, like, if you did not have another coach, like, I don't know how you could do it at the level I'm doing it. Like, we're one of two teams in America that actually gives a stipend on top of USA Weightlifting stipend. So our goal is to, leave our mark on weightlifting that will last way past my lifetime, I hope. And so one of the things, we talk in America about how can we make America great in weightlifting again. One of the things you gotta help these athletes train. You gotta make it, economically feasible. And so we've been doing that. We got some really good sponsors now that helped that process. But my for-profit business, which is Mastery Performance, still donates the majority of the funds to the nonprofit, which is Mass Strength, which is all the weightlifters. So yeah, now we have people too that help us, like Crystal McCullough. She's now full-time job is helping me with my nonprofit. So the organization has been interesting. I've been doing it from off the cuff, but it seemed to work. I think if you have enough passion about something and you just have a few skills, you'll figure out how to make it work.
Well, you know what? You're a great example. And even It's got to be about 18 months ago. Well, let me ask you, when did you put the nonprofit in place? Like, how did that process go and everything like that?
Bro, that was a bitch. And so, pardon my language, but it it took me over a year to finally put the cap on that. Like, I started out by getting advice, which is fine. I thought I'd had it long before I actually had it. So finally, I went to a lawyer, and this is some good advice for anyone who's considering doing what I'm doing. Like, I went to a lawyer at Wake Forest University, and he helped me, as part of his class. So he helped me for free, but he expedited the process. Like, it went from, I thought it was going to take forever to he did it in a couple of weeks. So when I finally went to a lawyer, it was fast. And so I recommend either find a situation like that or shell out the money. It'll be well worth it. Even if you pay $1,000, it'll be well worth it in the time you'll spend otherwise. But it's been good now, because now you can get businesses to sponsor you, and they get the financial benefit of the 501c3. And so we've got Intech, Nike Weightlifting, we've got BiPro. These are all people that it's financial. It's not just product. Harbinger, MG12. I think that's all. But yeah, so it's been a blessing.
That's awesome. Now let me ask you, how did it go about getting sponsorship? Could you just like email them like, hey, this is what we're doing? Could you talk about like the relationship that you actually had to build to start getting these sponsorships that help with the nonprofit?
Well, I think it's important that they understood that I understood business. A lot of these, you're a nonprofit and you just want handouts. And but I understood business. Our team is highly visible on. When you put all of our social media together, it's a big impact. And so you have, even like one guy, Nathan Damron, has got. It's not. I mean, there's bigger out there, but he's a 21-year-old kid with 40-some thousand very loyal fans. So that I understood that. And so when I went to these people, I didn't want just free stuff. I wanted them to understand that they would get, a lot of visibility, because we do the videos, all the banners, all of them have banners in their gym, and it's in the background. You see it. We shout them out. I have certain agreements with different ones. Like, I've been started doing something kind of cool, like where I do like a Mash Monday, where I'll give like advice, and it'll be brought to you by one of them. And so when they understood I didn't want something free, I wanted to give back, and I wanted, the visibility of our team to help their company. Well, then, it worked out. Oh, Hack Nutrition. That's a brand new one. Sorry. Shout out HAK Nutrition, but them too. But, so that really helped me. Yeah, it started out a lot of times with emails, or I wrote a blog talking about our team and our goals with, if you're looking to partner, like a call to action at the end of it. Actually got one or two people like that. So, there's more than one way. You got to hustle too. And so just today we decided to really concentrate one person's, full-time efforts onto just trying to raise money for our team. So that's be exciting how well that works.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it shows that you've got to have a system to get it to this level.
Oh yeah.
And also, we've got a couple questions. One was talking about, so you talked about just having a few athletes at a time. Jeff was wondering, how do you actually start having athletes go and train with you, even though you're far away?
They move, man. Like, that now that they know that I can produce results, we get people that, normally they'll start with an email. I will look at their, background, start with a phone conversation, because I'll tell you this, culture is everything. Because we've invited people out that we made mistakes. Like, they were really good. So I invited them out, and it ruined the whole culture. And it was no good for anyone. So now we start with, are they good? Do they have potential? I don't need them to be awesome at first. I just need to see potential. But then will they mesh with, Nathan and Morgan and Brian and Jackie? That's a big important thing, because I want whoever comes to bring the team up. Not one dude, one boy or girl can totally ruin a team. And we've had it happen, but now we've got the best situation we've had in a very long time. And so I'm not going to let something ruin it. But that's how it all starts. They'll send me an email, and I'll look into it, call them, talk to them. If it works out, invite them out to try it out, and then Then from there, I'll send an invite. As far as like, it's what level of stipend or benefits they get will depend on their results. It all depends on like the top level is if you make a Team USA, you get the top level stipend. Second would be if you medal at the nationals, and then everything else would be, are you a top 10 lifter?
That's awesome.
So,
and this is great advice. And Travis, thank you for talking about this, because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see a lot of information out like what you're talking about today, talking about the nonprofit, talking about this. So this is great advice, guys. Remember, take your notes, listen to what he's talking about, because he's living it. He's talking about it right now, right?
There's only, like I said, there's only two of it. So it's, man, what I'm doing is like really new. You had Muscle Driver try it and fail. And then, so really now it's just me and Cal Strength. And then Juggernaut does some of what I'm talking about, but now they do mostly remote. So they don't really have their own gym. They're doing it remotely. So we're all just trying to figure out, how can we do it where we can, provide the athletes everything they need to get to where they want to go, and still have our for-profit business be successful and make a living. So it's interesting. I think done properly, it can benefit, your business. And so we're just trying to find that balance still.
Awesome. We've got a couple questions regarding traveling and when you're getting ready to put your team on the road, when you're going to nationals. What do you do to prep your team before you go out to competitions?
Well, as far as, are you talking about getting them ready for, performing, or are you talking about getting them ready to travel?
Travel, just the nitty gritty travel.
I do all of that for them. Well, normally we have like now we've got two people who work for the nonprofit. So they will do the booking the rooms, booking the travel, the air flight. If it's close enough, which is awesome, then we, maybe we'll talk about driving or doing a bus. But when we went to Chicago, like we did the airfare, we booked it for them. We did the rooms. And so I rented cars to get them from the airport to the hotel. There was shuttles too. But I always like to have a car just in case someone, you never know at one of those meets when somebody might need to go lose weight. They need a sauna. You never know if there's a sauna. So I'm always prepared with a vehicle. But other than that, they just got to show up, man. We pay their registration for them. They just have to, I'll send them everything they need to know. They just got to show up at the airport.
That's good times.
Yeah.
So Travis, thank you for your time. We've got just a couple more questions for you. One of the questions was, what did you learn from first starting to now in about the 2 years? What was the greatest lesson that you learned about putting together a team like this?
Oh, the culture thing I talked about earlier is like, we've made a couple of mistakes along the way where, one, try to avoid bringing somebody on the team that just doesn't fit the mesh. Doesn't make that person a bad person. It just means it doesn't fit the culture that you have. So it's you're doing them a favor by not bringing them. And two, if you see something within your team start to develop, meaning like you see maybe a couple people not getting along, or you see somebody unhappy, attack that right then and there. Like nip that in the bud. Don't let that fester, because normally it's something you can handle. I love my team. They know I do. I go above and beyond. Like for example, Nathan Damron, he gets a stipend for me plus USA Weightlifting. And he wasn't going to be able to get his stipend until January because when he did his total to get it, it was after this cutoff time. So I made a call. I did it for him. I called Lance Williams, USA Weightlifting, plead his case. Anyway, they gave him his stipend early. So just things like that develop trust, and then the athlete, they don't have to wonder if they can trust you. They don't have to wonder if you're going to be an advocate for them or not. They know I will. They know I'll do everything I can possibly do to help them reach their goals.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And about you as a coach, what do you have to do mentally to prepare yourself to run this team? Do you have to take time away a certain amount per week because you've got two young kids? Like, what do you have to do to be able to be successful running this team?
Yes. So periodically, my wife and I, we take, we just, a few weeks ago, we went to the beach. We did it right after the AO Series 3 because, leading up to that, man, it gets so much of my attention. And so I do have two young boys. I have a 3-year-old and I have a 10-month-old, and they need my attention. But I do a really good job of, throughout the day too, of giving them my time. Like I played with them today. I took Rock to gymnastics this morning. So sometimes I have to get up at 4 or 5, or means I have to stay up late. But luckily, when you work for yourself, here's the pros of being an entrepreneur, is that you can work whatever schedule you want to work. And so sometimes that means I don't get as much sleep, but it doesn't mean my family will suffer. It means I have to. I'm okay with that. I'm a grown man. But I don't make my kids pay for that. They get my attention. If I'm in town, they get dad's attention.
Awesome. That's great. And I always see pictures of you at gymnastics. It's awesome. Like Rock's gotten really big. I can't believe
it. Yeah, man. Like I love that time with gymnastics. I tell you this too, as an entrepreneur, like if you don't do those things, it'll make you hate what you do. I love what I do because it allows me to do those things. When I'm with Rock, watching him, tumble and learn to balance, all I can do is thank God that I'm, have the job I have that allows me to do this. I'm like the only dad. I wonder sometimes if those women think I'm unemployed because I'm like the only man there. It's a bunch of women who just stay-at-home moms, and then there's me. And so I'm not unemployed. I'm not broke. I promise.
That's great. That's great. Just start sponsoring. Start wearing the shirts around. I mean, they've got to make the correlation sometime. Hopefully,
I do. Luckily, his instructor, Mr. Jeff is what Rock calls him, knows now, and so he'll ask about how did Pan Am's go, how did the Nationals go, and so now the parents are starting to understand who I am. So
that's awesome. So just 2 questions. One talking about the future, but right now we get a question. How did you and Don start working together? And then also your gym, I think in Minnesota, is that correct? The affiliate?
I have one. Yeah, Mass Mafia, Minnesota.
Could you talk about like the affiliate? How did that start? Do you find it helpful having affiliates? All that kind of stuff.
Well, first I'll go with Don. We met at Muscle Driver USA. The key became originally it was Glenn Penley. Then Glenn had a stroke, and they brought Don on, and then Don became the head coach. And so when I went there, part of the reason I wanted to go, I already had my own team and it was already doing well, but I went there to get some mentorship from older, more wise coaches, and I thought originally it would be Glenn, but it ended up being Don. Don is when it comes to the movements, he's got an eye that's better than anyone I've ever seen. And he taught me about movement, about programming, the difference in men and women, and a coach. So I've learned a ton from him. So then with Muscle Driver, I left early because I didn't get along with the owner. But when it collapsed, I jumped at the chance to bring on Don because I needed the help. And now there's 2 senior international coaches, which is the highest level of weightlifting coaching you can have. There's 2 of us. So not many teams. I don't know if any other team in America has 2 of us, but so that's how I got him. And then the affiliate thing. Here's how that started. I was in my daughter. I have a daughter who lives in Minnesota. From a relationship I had when I was at the Limit Training Center, and so I would go. I still do go see her as often as I can. And one time while I was up there, randomly on Twitter, I was like, are there any gyms up here that would want to partner, with me and maybe work out some arrangement. And so then it was he's one of the other national coaches. He was starting the gym, and several people. There was 4 of them that reached out to me. But there was something about Vin that stood out. And we've been he's probably my best friend, one of my best friends. I have 3 of them. But he reached out and we just got along really well. And he was so open to my ideas and concepts. And that dude's turned into an unbelievable coach. He's had this year 3 athletes go to Team USA. He's had Nadine is on her way to the youth Pan Ams. He had who went to the University Worlds and did really well. And now he's got Brian Reisenhauer, who he's one of the 3 going to the Worlds, who's unbelievable, who is in training broken all the American records for 56 kilos. So we just became best of friends. And the affiliate program has really worked because, it's a lot of teams out there will say their team, but they really don't coach anybody. They just gather people on their team. maybe give them a few bucks to travel or whatever. But all my athletes are either coached by me or by Vin or by Don. Every single one of them. Most of them are either at my gym, at his gym, visit one of us on a regular basis, or do legit online coaching like Jordan Contreras mine. And we talk every single day. So I coach him as much as I coach anybody in my gym. So all of our athletes are coached like that by one of us. And all three of us, are putting out, great athletes. So it's been a blessing. It's a great way to grow your brand nationwide. And, for me, it was a great way for me to be able to go see, my daughter Bailey, more consistently.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great. So all organically, and like you mentioned, it's it sounds like it's all based on that personality and that interest, and then like it grows organically from that. So that's awesome.
Yes, and all of our affiliates are just very like-minded people. Billy Colley, who's in Texas, we just get along so well, and we're planning on doing. Can't really say right now, but we're planning a whole another business, in Texas, and then I have two in Florida. I just was with JT at CrossFit FCD while I was at the powerlifting national championships last weekend. So like most of the stuff that I do grows from my affiliates. That's anyone listening, like normally things I do come from my affiliates. Like Vin and I are working on something really cool for coaching that I was going to talk to you about actually.
Definitely soon. Right after this. Yeah.
So, but it's a great way to network, get to know each other, make sure that we have like minds, and then grow in business together too. I want to help the people who love the same sports and they care about their athletes like I do.
That's perfect. That's awesome. So, all right, Travis, we'll let you out on one last thing. We're about to go into 2018. What are some of your goals for just the whole business? What are you looking at? I know you're going to be coaching, I think, the world team soon, right? Because I just saw you at Rogue, right?
Yeah.
Which was crazy. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So what are kind of one or two goals that you have going into 2018?
Well, I mean, obviously we want to continue to grow our company. Last year to this year, we tripled in size. Well, you're talking about we're talking about gross income. We tripled from last year to this year. Team-wise, it's a big year. 2018 becomes the first year you start earning spots for the Olympics. It's the first time that athletes have a chance to start doing things that will contribute to them making the Olympics. For example, they have to make two international teams for USA to be even considered for an Olympic team. So if you just wait till the very end and go to the Olympic trials and kill it, you won't go to the Olympics because you have had to make two Team USAs prior to that. So next year becomes a very big year. As far as growing our business, there's several products that we're starting to launch outside of. Two are new online teams, and then two are like bigger products on a more e-commerce type of way. But that'll be next year. So yeah, we got 4 new products, 2 teams, 2 products that we're gonna launch next year.
Excited, man. Well, thank you so much. You guys just keep doing great things. You're a great person. It's great to see so much success come your way. So thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Tomorrow my new book drops.
Oh,
for anyone is So yeah, we got Master Elite system. It's my system. So if you want to know exactly how I coach my athletes, buy the book. masterelite.com/systems.
Awesome. Put it out there, and we're going to put it in the link in the course below, guys. So check it out. Make sure that you take a look at that. That's awesome. And how many ebooks do you have now, Travis?
Yeah, we looked today. That'll be 14. So not counting one. I did one with Zach Evans and John Wellborn. So that's 15, I guess. But yeah.
Man, and how do you so in your mind, I know they're all special, but what's your favorite one? Give me the top 2, I guess. Which ones are your favorite?
No, not because I'm selling it tomorrow. This one, because it took me forever to do something that I considered my systems. Like you got Westside, system. Like what my the Mass Mafia system is all these different methods like conjugate, the PAP, post activation potentiation, compensatory acceleration. It's all those different methods combined into one, and then I get to. What I've done in this one is not just give you a program, but I explain in detail every single method, why it works. And then here's what makes it different too, is I go to the workouts that I've given them. There's like 5 different 12-week programs, and I go in there and show them, this is the PAP method. This is the conjugate method. This is repetition method. And here's why it is. Velocity. It's really cool. It's a teaching. It's what I'm getting at. It's a teaching tool. It's like, if you want to be a coach, I'm going to teach you, how to, formulate your own system. And I hope that what happens, just like Louis Simmons used to tell me, he's like, I don't want you to take what I have and just regurgitate it. I want you to take it, make it better, make it your own. It's the same thing. This book is my way of teaching you what to do so you can make it your own.
That's awesome.
So I'm really
that's awesome. I got to get it now. Now I'm pumped about it. So
I'm pumped about this one too. So
this is great. Then real quick, guys, we want to make sure that, of course, thank you, Travis, for being here. But guys, don't forget, the reason that we bring Travis on, we have one thing that ties everything together. Travis was talking about putting the systems in place, what he did to get his business the way it is. So we're going to be talking about how it all ties together, guys. So again, thank you so much, Travis. Remember, this is how to run a world-class team. But also the second part that we wanted to talk about, guys, is why this matters. How does this matter to you guys? You've had so much good information from Travis just now. But what about you? Where are you starting? What are you having trouble with? Well, the reason that we bring Travis and so many other on, because we saw a problem. We saw that so many fitness professionals, fitness entrepreneurs, athletes didn't know where to start in order to make money. And there was 3 main reasons. Number 1, the time. There's so many fitness gurus out there. There's so many people telling you what to do. It's kind of hard to see where you should actually go, who you should read from, all that kind of stuff. Number 2, there's no clear direction out in the industry. There are tons of different information online, but there was no direction of how to run the business. Just like how Travis is showing you how to be a great coach, that's what we're trying to do for your business and how to streamline it. And number 3, even if you found all this information, if you spent hundreds of hours, it's really, really difficult to put the right systems in place. There was no plug and play product that exists. So what we do at the Toolkit, working with Travis, working with so many others, Christmas, what we did was we teach essential tech for fitness entrepreneurs. So we show you how to run your online business and how to expand without needing to sell your left kidney in the process. So many times we see so many products out there, but it's so expensive or it's hard to understand or what to do. So really quick, our team, and you've heard from me. My name is Doc Williams. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the Toolkit. And also my co-founder and brand ambassador is Danny Lear. Travis, I think you know Danny a little bit.
Real well. You both are just in my farm, so yeah.
Exactly. So we're at the Mass Spectacular. Danny is also the CFO of Caffeine Kilos and also the co-owner of CrossFit Excel. We teamed up a couple of years ago. We saw there was a huge need to streamline and teach others in the fitness industry, especially how to streamline their business and what to do. And so we teamed up. And after many iterations of what we did, we finally took it down to 3 things that we do. All we do is we ID what you're struggling with. We teach you or build it for you, the systems, the programs, the apps that you need. And then the last one, which is all what relates to really in fitness and growing, is we connect you with the right people. So many times it's just who you know, having that connection, someone knowing in your network. And that's what we do, guys. So again, we're here to really help you. We're bringing you guys the best instructors, the best coaches, the best entrepreneurs in the fitness realm. And you just got to hear one of the best in the business, Travis Mash. So again, thank you for your time. And Travis, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, man.
Bam.